Well, I think love is a deeply spiritual act. We unfortunately, we've been a little bit hallmarked out of love. We have this idea that, oh, well, I love you. And but love, when you read, and everybody should read King on love, because you can't really deny what he's talking about, which is that it is I will love you into transforming you. I will not hate you because I will not let you do that to me. And so that's the kind of, it is a deeply spiritual discipline that, again, is, for him, comes out of a Christian faith tradition, but I think it is available to us all. And I tell you, if someone started using love in the same way that King did, people would listen. People would listen because it's inspiring. We want to transform one another, and we want to do it in a way that honors ourselves and one another. And it's a discipline. I keep on using that word because I think it's important to remember that King accomplished what he did because he had spiritual discipline.
Dr. King knew that practicing, putting into practice, loving one's enemies took courage and it took strength. And it was not easy. It's not easy to love. So this great collection of Dr. King's sermons that was put together shortly after the assassination by Mrs. King is called A Strength to Love. And King often talked in his sermons about the methodology, how one does it, not only why one should do it. And that was what I was looking for when I was young and 15 and marching with King in Birmingham. It was that we had possibilities to move the whole country forward if we could show, if we could put into practice this kind of love. Now, we had to learn about it. And the first thing we had to learn was what nonviolence meant. It was great. If you were in those church meetings, we were teenagers, right? We were children. There were these older women, particularly in the community. It wasn't just King. There were a lot of women around King. And they would, we would test it, I remember a young boy was called over by an older woman, I don't know, but September clock. But she pulled him over and she says, "Are you ready to march today?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm ready." And she says, "No, I don't think you're ready. You seem a little angry today." Now, we're not going to have any of that. In other words, in order to get out there and march, we had to go through training. We had to be nonviolent, or else we stayed in the church that day. You stayed in the church and you did some homework or something, but you weren't ready to go out. Because Dr. King's movement was a movement of love. And that love said that you might not like this other person's ways. You might not like what they were doing. You're faced by somebody in a hood who's causing you harm. Even King said, you don't have to like them, but as a child of God, you got to love them. It was that kind of love.